Okay, I'm getting a lot of messages that we're live, and it's a little bit late on my end, so please forgive me. Anybody that's tuning in, please enjoy the game we're about to have. This is Team Bonus Actions Long Night. I'm being told we got to shut this down. The CD sheet or the CDC is telling us this is a violation. Actually, no, it's just Topher. Thanks, Topher. In any case, this is Team Bonus Action. We are a group of amateur D&D live streamers. Our biggest claim to fame so far is a legit 24-hour stream for Extra Life, which we are super happy we did, but we'll probably never do again in that manner. We will space it out over a couple of days. In any case, I am your DM for this evening. I usually go by the handle Miro, Raven, or Hewitt, but tonight I was simply referred to as DM. All right, let us take it off with our first character, Mr. Fork Redbeard.
Yes, I am playing Fork Redbeard, the monk, a middle matter. He's a rough and tumble character. I actually don't know yet because I kind of randomized his stuff, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully I don't die within the first encounter or something. Aside from that, on Zeta, I usually stream every now and then. I've been streaming a lot more because of reasons having to do with a certain pandemic. But yeah, I stream on my own channel, and I also do a lot of stuff with Miro. And that's me.
Langston, you're up next.
All right, this is really one of my first times ever on Roll20. But I'm Langston. I am an elf-hardened, battle-hardened, Rambo type wannabe Drizzt. He is just kind of jaded. He's bald head. He kind of hates other elves. He kind of hates everybody except for the people he's immediately around. It takes him a little while to warm up. Try to get all the cliches. And I'm just here to kill, make a little money.
Our master wizard and entertainer.
Hello, I am Novak the Magnificent, and I have no idea why I'm in this town. My agent told me to show up here and I thought they wanted entertainment, but me and my familiar, Dr. Hopkins, are just trying to understand what's going on. We're very confused.
I brought him here so I could eat some rabbit.
Nivlak, what is your normal handle you go by? Nilvac, what's your normal handle?
I don't mini links, I suppose, between my normal handle. Don't really have a Twitch or streaming or anything. This is my first time doing it.
I will throw in that Lemmiwinks is one of my DMs, which means I fully appreciate him for allowing me to have chances to not be a DM. And our final player for the evening.
Hello. I am another member of Team Bonus Action. I am known as Prey. Also the DM's wife. And tonight I will be playing Ulabella, who is a Druid Ranger. First time multi-classing anything. And she is a Firbolg who is from this area. And she looks sort of like, she's kind of got those bovine features, but think of a coo, one of those Highland cows. She's got kind of that shaggy hair. I just couldn't find a good picture to show that.
So you're telling me she's like literally a ice yak that walked off of the frozen north to help people with magic and stabbies.
She's a 7'1" cool person. That's what she is.
Why do I feel like you should have a Scottish accent?
I thought about it, but it's probably going to end up sounding more Canadian/Midwestern.
I say go with
Well,
it.
hello there. We need
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, the cheese cards are in the pub. Sorry, that was a lot of people.
You forget where I'm actually from, don't you?
Oh no, I haven't forgotten, don't you know? Land of flat burgers and cheese curds.
Cheese curds are good.
Cheese curds are delicious.
I don't like the sweet cheese.
Any case, what we're playing tonight is a campaign known as not the Frozen North, but as the Long Nights. The party has found themselves on the subcontinent of Ibavis in the far northern reaches of the Mar de Neif and the Mar de Boz on Arax. Think kind of Iceland / Scandinavia / parts of northern Russia and Canada. That's how far north we're talking. When winter descends, it's going to last 4 months. And everybody in the region knows the longest night, the night of the cold wind, is the only night that there will be absolutely no sun. You are at least a month and a half, 2 months away from this date occurring, but when winter descends, the Jotun Shelf, the ice fields that completely encapsulate the northern end of the world, slowly close down. And by about the second, third week of winter, the whole northern end of Ibavis will be connected to the Jotun Shelf. Raiders and creatures that live in the far north that have been hungry for, food, supplies, anything, usually make their way down south once the Jotun Shelf has frozen too. Also, the creatures that live within the mountains and the underdark of the subcontinent make their way to the surface because now less and less daylight that burns them is present. This is the dark time of year, the cold time of year, when most people lock their doors, shutter their windows, hunker down next to a fire, and tell ghost stories so children do not wish to go out into the frozen wastes. Now, most towns have a decent town guard that will protect it, and most towns have a large palisade, either stone or wood. But especially in the province or county of Nosteron, the first area to always experience this every year, they hire adventurers to help deal with things because everybody knows people get kidnapped this time of year. Everybody knows that the dead will rise up from graves this time of year. And having a few extra swords or fireballs are always welcome. The party finds itself in the town of Mir, the northernmost main subcontinent city. Normally, the Gulf de Bois and the Mar de Neif allow you to have great fishing and shipping, but right now, at least 100 miles of the coast to the west and south of Mir have been frozen. Soon, within the next couple months, the other coast will be frozen, and within just weeks past that, if you were to travel from Mir, you could walk to the city of Jin on an island almost 60 miles away, or walk to Hol or Alfheim, probably a good 200-300 miles away. The northern little islands that dot the area north of Ibavis. So it's cold, it's harsh, And our party finds themselves in a tavern. The Wily Walrus.
Can I order some more walrus?
You may. There are walrus steaks. There are walrus roast, and you can also order a beverage known as Wally's Revenge that is served within a walrus full-grown bull tusk.
Well, I order the walrus revenge.
How wily are the walrus?
You lost 3 gold to a walrus just earlier this week for it. So note that on your sheet. You saw a walrus that started balancing a ball on its nose. You're like, this is great. And then another walrus slapped you in the side of the face, grabbed your purse, ran off. But then they realized they didn't have thumbs and only grabbed what shook out.
Oh, well, my guys.
So, Langston, as you sit at the table with your companions, they bring you out a 2.5 foot long hollowed walrus tusk that when you grab it in your hand, it's probably your fingers don't meet around it. Deep inside of this is a dark concoction that smells of cinnamon, anise, cardamom, and barley.
Delicious. I'm going to go ahead and drink it.
Okay, give me a Constitution saving throw. You drink about a third of it, and you're like, no. I need to take a minute. I need to take a minute on this. This is good, but if I down this whole thing, I will be probably wrecked.
Well,
It tastes pretty good, though.
Sorry, what was that, Langston?
Can you hear me okay?
I got feedback when Olabella chimed in.
Okay. I set my drink down carefully. Did I get a walrus steak too?
You do get a walrus steak, but you cannot set this down. It is a 2.5 foot long walrus tusk, and there are no coasters for it.
Well, then I am going to. All right, I'm just gonna hang out then.
Okay.
I'm gonna offer something to my companions. I'm gonna say it's delicious.
You hear from across the bar this large, surly Goliath. Nah, son. You gotta drink that all on your own, or else you owe me 7 gold.
I'll hold it for you there while you eat some of your food. I won't drink any of it.
Oh, wow.
In any case, Langston, since you were the first to speak up, describe your character for the viewers and the party.
Well, he is a bold elf. He has an angry scowl on his face. You think it's permanently there. He says his name is Langston, but you suspect he's lying. You definitely know he's lying. He's wearing a breastplate. He has a rapier and a short sword with the hilt is carved out of a walrus tusk. You assume he's been in the north for a while. He doesn't really talk about his past, but the scars on his face and body kind of give a hint at what his job is, what he's good at. And other than that, you haven't really been able to coax out of what he says, but you know you know him well enough. He's not.
He is a frost edge lord.
I described my character too early.
Right, so next to him, we have Olabella, the Furbog. If you would like to re-describe your character real quick while the DM steps away for just a second.
Oh, okay. Well, again, she's about 7'1", 280 pounds. She's a tall girl. It has the kind of bovine features, but really long, shaggy, kind of light brown hair, and pretty much just kind of makes you think of a Highland cow with its big fluffy head. And she carries a scimitar and a wooden shield and wears leather armor.
So you're a ranger? Is that what you're playing?
I am a druid ranger. I have 2 levels of druid and 1 level of ranger.
Okay. What's your companion? Do you have a companion that's ranger? I don't know.
That would be a second class, yeah.
No, I don't have a companion. I can turn into animals, though.
Awesome. Nevlac, can you do a magic trick for him? I'll go with Silver Nevlac.
Nevlac will definitely catch that silver. Alright, what do you want? What you looking for? What's you drinking there?
I'm drinking some delicious beer. Cinnamon, I don't know, it's got a bunch of stuff in it. There's just a lot of it.
Okay. Well, presto potion, it's purple.
Purple makes everything better.
Does it though?
No.
Oh, it's pretty now, though.
I'm gonna do another drink and do another constitution save for the DM that's away.
What class are you? Oh yeah, you're a champion fighter.
That's correct.
That's why you're rolling so bad.
Also got unbelievable rolls.
Yeah, that was an 18 and a 7. I can't believe the DM just stepped away and let us do what we want. Who wants to overthrow this bar?
Let's give it. Let's go punch. I'm gonna go punch the Goliath in the balls.
Yeah.
Maybe not do that, no.
I haven't been paid yet. Don't do that.
The road to hell wasn't paved in a day, okay?
I'm taking that silver you threw at me.
I kind of live around here, you know? I don't really want to cause too much trouble with the people I gotta see every day when you guys eat.
Well, guys, you gotta make an omelet. You gotta break a leg or two.
With that line stated by Langston, you see,
he's back.
you hear and you see a young half-elf man come running up. The bear, he's probably a teenager. You're assuming he's got the wisp of a mustache. Like, he's trying, but son, you best just shave it.
Elves can't grow facial hair. Half elves shouldn't try.
Well, really, this is like every 14, 15-year-old mustache that you've ever seen.
I look at him and then I stroke my very majestic beard.
He seems downtrodden. He seems slightly. You might have hurt his feelings just a little bit, just a bit. He goes, the mayor.
I put my hand on his shoulder and I'm like, something.
The Mayor Nustraff, or Mayor Nullstaff wants to see y'all in the long haul. We have a situation. I'm not sure what it is. It's just that I was bringing him his iced latte because that's the only type of latte you're getting right now. And he told me, go find that lot that looks very funny. And it was either you or that table full of clowns to the right.
What table full of clowns? I'm scared.
If you look to the right, there is literally a table full of clowns. Like, one of them even honks a squeaky horn at you.
Hey, Claire is
Trying to muscle in on my turf, I see.
One of the clowns, another gnome. Oh, hell no, we ain't muscling in on your territory. We already were here when you showed up, Mr. Magic Man.
Look, I got the contract with the place.
He holds up a piece. He holds up the other gnome clown, which, y'all looking at this gnome clown is like the clowniest clown you've ever seen. Like, huge hammer pants that are striped, long bright green and purple striped suspenders, a very flamboyant frilled shirt, with stylized hair, and on the length of his long gnomish nose, there's a bright blue squeaky nose. And he goes, "We got a contract too," and he holds up the contract and says, "I do what I want."
Let's not fight amongst ourselves. Let's go see what the mayor wants.
Yes, please, this place.
Yes, there's no reason to fight. Let's go.
I take the tusk with me of beer or whatever.
He yells at, or you hear the Goliath from behind the bar. "If you leave with it, it's still the full gold."
I'll finish it off.
Give me a Constitution saving throw at disadvantage. You rolled 3, but we will go with that 12 since that was the first one. You're pretty toasty, and as you hand it off to one of the random waiters / waitresses, they go, "For 3 silver, you can actually own the horn."
No.
They just go, "Okay, we'll wash it," and they walk off. Thank you for at least acknowledging what is a normal trip to Pat O'Brien's.
Langston just throws the horn on the ground.
I do.
I threw it on the ground.
Do you actually throw it on the ground?
No.
Okay, because that Goliath was going to come over the bar. Okay, so everybody, your meals would have cost about 2-3 copper if you want to keep up with that.
How much money are we supposed to have?
Everybody
I
should.
have 13 gold. I'll pay for everyone's.
Everybody should have had between 10 and 15 gold.
I'm fine.
Ulrich is gonna front the bill for everyone.
Dungeon Master, as a contracted entertainer, my meals are free for my background.
Okay. So Nilvac owes nothing.
Nilvac gets the Goliath card.
Would Nilvac try to comp his companion's meals, though?
Oh, no.
What about Dr. Hopkins?
Dr. Hopkins is a vegetarian. He only ever eats meat very extremely rarely, only in extreme cases. And this place only serves walrus. So
They have root vegetables. There were sides. I just didn't mention them. There was mashed parsnips, steamed carrots, a couple cabbages.
there would have been some cabbages. Probably like half a cabbage.
So your rabbit's just sitting there eating half a cabbage on a plate.
Yep.
Note that Dr. Hopkins always gets half a cabbage in the tavern.
As part of my act, he is also free as a familiar guest.
Hi, Kelsey. Okay, so you'll make your way through the streets. Mir is a decent-sized town. There's about 7,000 people here. It's mostly a fishing village, but you make it to the Great Hall, the Long Hall. It is very much the stereotypical Viking Long Hall, and as you are brought in, the chamber extends about 160 feet in front of you. There's a couple of, you can see off their side rooms that are probably other government officials, maybe some bedrooms. But as you walk along the massive fire trough that runs, once you walk in, maybe it's only about 20 feet from the door. But there's a large 6-foot wide fire trough in this great hall that runs, and as you walk up, you can see a seat that once was probably that of a petty king or a duke. But sitting on it, you see a young tiefling. You all know that this is Mayor Nustolf, y'all's employer, the one that hired you. Now, Novak, you were hired to entertain, but your contract was extended another 4 months once the nights started getting longer. Give me an intelligence check.
All right. How would I go about doing that? I'm on the back of the sheet right now.
If you look at your...
You can just click intelligence.
Yeah, if you just click intelligence, you should be fine.
There you go.
Novak, you have no clue why he's calling you here. You just know that he extended your contract with your agent.
Okay.
As you walk in, you see this young tiefling, his hair a mottled mix of brown and silver. But you know that the mayor's only 28, maybe 29, wearing a deep, heavy polar bear fur-lined collared cloak over his heavy, heavy canvas and fur clothing underneath. As you walk in, oh yeah, hi. I got a job for you all to do other than just help the city guard and no stuff. Do more than just entertain people in the 3 pubs 5 nights a week.
Want me to extend it to 4 nights a week, I understand.
Someone wrote 4 instead of 5?
You said 3 nights a week, right?
Regardless, anyway, we've had an alderman kidnapped. You all know when the long night sets in, all of those, all those ne'er-do-wells that come south of the Jotun Shelf. They come down here and they demand money or they demand food because, they live on an ice shelf. They survive on bullshit, ice, and maybe each other and fat from a walrus. However, they kidnapped an alderman, and I kind of need him back. He's a wee bit necessary for everything we do.
What's the pay?
I'm already allowing you to have free housing, don't you know? And I'm allowing you to have free food at the tavern's giving you free food, right?
No, they are not.
I'll address that real quick. Any case, there's about 85 gold and a writ of transport to anywhere within Ivavis. If you'll go find Alderman Petey Swindon.
Who took him?
Well, he was here yesterday, then he was gone. His wife said a very large man drug him north. They paid her about 85 silver, but she'd rather have her husband than the money.
Wait till they paid her.
Yes. Several of those that live on the Jotun Shelf, they don't steal. There's a fair trade, and apparently a halfling is worth 85 silver. I would argue that needs to be bumped up a couple numbers with the gold behind it, but hey, in any case, Alderman Swindon, he owns the icebreaker industry up here. He's the one that sends ships out to keep our trade routes open. Now, we can trade with Thier or Burr or the Northern Islands by land right now, but within a couple of weeks, all the coast here is going to be frozen, and he owns the icebreaker industry. So, I need you to bring him back. That way his ships, because to be honest, you know what? As long as he's not here, he can't sign checks. He doesn't even allow anyone else to sign checks. It's kind of a flaw in the system, right?
Bit there.
Repeat that. Olabella, repeat.
I just said a bit there.
So none of his employees are getting paid while they're on, basically off time, just sitting around at the docks going, oh, I wish I could get a boat out there, or oh, I wish I could break the ice, or oh, I wish I could do anything and actually have someone pay me. But the man who can sign the checks is gone. His secretary can't even open his enchanted safe. So I really need you to get Alderman Petey Swindon back. Because if
We'll
those...
get Swindon back.
What was that?
We'll get Swindon back. That's no problem. So what happens if he turns out to be dead?
Bring his body back, because at least we can use his hand to unlock the safe.
Fair enough. We'll just bring the hand.
If he's alive, I'm pretty sure his wife would appreciate all of them back.
So how long ago was he kidnapped, eh?
I mean, we'll bring back everything if he's alive. I'm not saying I would.
Sir Langston, I understand that you're a very pragmatic individual. Mr. Redbeard, thank you. He's an alderman. He has a vote in the council. Nilvac, what do you think?
We can go find this guy, I suppose. Halfling out there up north is just, he's in bad news no matter what situation he's in.
Well, he does wear boots.
Ah, yes. Everyone knows if you wear boots, you'll be fine.
I look at my feet and I see I'm wearing slippers.
Oh, you're screwed, buddy.
The mayor looks at, oh yeah, man, you need to get some actual boots, snow boots. In any case, and you see him write down on this very long piece of parchment, I'm going to write you a graph. That way you can get some equipment to move north, because, cold weather gear here in Mur, Havar, if you're even to go to Bard, even up into the North Stock, to deal with any of those dreaded undead that have, castles up in the peaks, as legend tells. This gear that you got on right now, a heavy winter coat, a nice warm bottle of water in your water skin, that's not going to do it. So, if you take this over to Millie's, she'll give you half off on anything you got to buy. I can't do free, mostly because for the next, 4 months, we have no money coming into the city other than if a trader comes in. But unless you get, unless you get the alderman back, we got no routes for them to make it once this route closes completely with ice.
We get it. We'll go get it. Don't.
How long ago was the alderman taken, eh?
About 3 days ago.
They went north?
Keeping it quiet. They went north.
All right. Well, there's no sleep for the fishes, so let's go and get to work.
What kind of large man did they say? Did they say it was a Goliath or a giant or something of that nature?
They just said a really big old man.
Probably a giant. Let's go speak to the wife.
Okay, so y'all have a writ to get anything you need for hard ice survival at half cost. And a member of your party has now mentioned to go talk to the wife.
I'm fine with wife.
Who all wants to speak with Madam Swindon?
Can't hurt none.
Nelvac?
Novak is following along. He feels a little bit out of his depth at this point. All of these people seem to be adventurers, and he's a traveling magician.
Are you actually riding your rabbit as a mount?
Dr. Hopkins is not that large. He's an albino rabbit, but so he's not like an English hen or anything. He's
just a bunny.
variable. Yeah, he's a bunny rabbit.
He's just a bunny. You don't have like that, like 45-pound rabbit that you're sitting there as a gnome going, wee on.
No.
Looks like the stream is back.
Hello?
Hello.
Internet.
It's okay, we destroyed the town. We won.
We're back up here.
All right, the DM is back. I had to reset our router. I apologize. Let me make sure that OBS is still running.
Yeah, like you're still on stream. By the way, we destroyed the town.
You did not.
Well, that was fast, eh?
Oh no, he closed the door.
But y'all were making your way out towards
Making our way downtown.
the Swelden Estate, and you're adventure bound. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm not participating in that call.
And y'all are going to speak to Lady Swilden, correct?
That's right.
So,
Yes, we are.
you show the documentation that the mayor would have inevitably gave you, and you walk in, and sitting in a very large sunroom is a absolutely gorgeous half-orcan woman wearing elegant winter furs, drinking what looks like maybe a chilled lemonade, and she hands up, "Oh, hello! Are you the ones that the mayor was sending to find my husband?"
That'll be us.
Ma'am, do you mind if I look around? Where was your husband taken? I just want to kind of look. See, I don't know. I doubt I'll find anything. I just want to take a look around the area.
But he was taken out back there near the Shard Garden, but I mean, I at least would like to know your name.
Oh, I'm Langston. I'm sorry. The mayor's in us. I apologize.
I'm Ola Bella. A lot of people just call me Ola.
Well, good day, Ola. You're a big, beautiful woman.
Thank you.
Okay. Or
Your beard is absolutely gorgeous. Do you wax and oil that?
I'm feeling uncomfortable here. And I just want beard.
She's just being friendly, eh?
I am Nimvac the Magnificent.
I've watched every last one of your shows in the taverns and the pubs, and your bunny is gorgeous.
Well, thank you, Dr. Hopkins. Hopkins is very appreciative.
Can I pet Dr. Hopkins?
You have to ask him, not me.
I like how Langston doot. And then Langston just, for Redbeard, just like them. Nope, no RP with this character. We're on a job. Is he?
I'm gonna be looking outside.
I'm gonna go to the Shard Garden and just look around and see if I can find any signs.
Okay, Langston and
Lady's still not trying to pet the bunny.
the lady wants to pet the bunny, but Fork and Langston, y'all determine whether or not someone has advantage, or you should both roll an investigation check.
Hey, you wanna just roll separately? What's your investigation? Hey,
Mine's only a 1. What's yours?
mine's a 1 as well. So we can roll if you want to roll or if I want to roll, we can do that.
Could I use survival?
Argue the case.
Well, it's outside and it's like tracking a wild game rather than those skills, rather than straight investigation.
Roll me a D100 to see if your character treats humanoids as wild game or as something separate.
Or even part of the Donner.
To be fair, you are totally the Donner Party. So, go ahead and give me a survival check. Fort, give me a investigation.
Not bad.
Well, you crafty motherfuckers. Determine there was at least 4 sets of normal size, maybe you would really put it like maybe human or elf or a smaller half orc, took this halfling. Like they came out of the woods and grabbed him while he was snipping shard. Now, y'all are discovering that outside. Who is still dealing with the half-orc bride, Lady Swilden?
I'm still inside.
She wants to pet the bunny. Who's not cool with her petting the bunny?
The bunny, she's asked the bunny's permission, he said.
So, is the bunny with you?
His permission.
If you put him out, I'll ask him permission.
All right. Come here, Hopkins. Dr. Hopkins. PhD. He actually studied in college under zoology.
You're familiar? This cute little bunny is so well read.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Hop.
Incredibly powerful. Do not doubt his power.
Oh, my esteemed magician, I do not. Mr. Hopkins, can I please pet the scruffy old neck and give you some scritches?
At this point, Dr. Hopkins, he's He's rocking a 3 intelligence, so probably just like stays still as a rabbit do.
She hands him a strawberry and then holds a hand back to see if he takes it.
Oh yeah, he's gonna go after that strawberry.
Zeta, we all know consent is sexy. You don't have to call me out. We all know. And all right, hold on, Ruby. Ruby, say what you gonna say, Ruby. You in the background there.
Oh, she's talking to someone else.
Oh, I thought she was trying to tell you or me what was what. By the way, big shout out, hashtag Ruby is the shit.
True.
It is true. As Dr. Hopkins eats the strawberry, she slowly strokes the back of his neck, and she is giddy and giggling. And the bunny's just like, I got a strawberry, I'm good as shit, whatever, man.
Can I roll an insight check to see, like, she doesn't really seem broke up about her husband being kidnapped.
You can totes the two of you that are still within the manor can roll an insight on her.
As I do that, I want to ask her, so what kind of tight stuff your husband there? Hey, we heard there were some kind of big...
Nivlak, this lady is giving your bunny a strawberry and loves on your bunny. She's straight up totes good.
Yep, she seems like a fine person.
All right, what do we got there with you? With an 18? All right. She is obviously in her early 20s. Married a man that's probably in his 40s, 50s. This bunny is the highlight of her day. She will tell you about her husband, but somebody presented a goddamn bunny. And this young woman would much rather talk about a bunny than her husband. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, say no more.
And you kind of cut out there for a moment. I didn't hear the last bit.
She very much is not addressing her husband, but loves this bunny. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, 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 say no more. I say that because I just slapped a sunburn on my arm.
What's that got to do with your sunburn?
I slapped it, it hurt, and the only thing that could make me feel better was Monty Python. You to Monty Python made me feel better, or you to the sunburn?
So I just hummed. It's a you.
Oh. For anyone that's listening in, your DM burns, much like paper does in the oven, over Fahrenheit 451.
Yes, I understand, like, as she's cuddling Dr. Hopkins, I'm going to try to push the conversation toward her husband and see if we can find out any information about what it is that might have caused all this.
All right, we'll start this off with some role play, and then we'll move it into a role if we need it.
Okay. Yes, we're investigating your husband's disappearance. We've been told that he's been taken and that money was given to you by a very large man. Can you tell us anything else about his I want to say kidnapping, but I don't think it's considered kidnapping. I don't know.
Honey, I think at this point, because he's a man well within his 50s, it's called an abduction. By the way, your bunny is adorable, and she just feeds Dr. Hopkins another strawberry. You just see this. You see this solid white rabbit, completely placated by what's going on with him, with just red running down his neck and chest to like almost his mid-rabbit tummy. It's just like, I am a violent murder god of strawberries, and I look horrific. This woman's hugging me and giving me fruit. What you got for me, man? She straight up gave me a Cheeto.
Well, I think your rabbit has a new friend there.
Well, who can make friends? He's an independent rabbit if he needs it. He is my traveling companion.
Your rabbit's like, you think that? She gave me a Cheeto and strawberries. Which, by the way, if you've ever combined Cheeto and strawberries together, it's terrible. Terrible, people. Don't do it.
You don't eat strawberries. How would you know?
I've actually done that one.
Cheetos and strawberries?
Yes. I thought it might make the strawberry... I thought it might make the strawberry taste better.
When did you do this?
You have to use hot Cheetos.
No, I will not use hot Cheetos. Because no, I will straight up eat a jalapeno before I eat hot Cheetos. Any case, she goes, oh well, yes, my husband was taken a couple days ago. They gave me some silver. I really don't think that's the same value, maybe, there, dear. Mostly because if you could even go by weight, oh honey, he was worth way more than that in silver.
Well, what kind of folks took him? Was they
I honestly don't know, but Richard, one of our groundskeepers, saw it happen. I mean, I was in the house and I was making needlepoint. The needlepoint said, rock out with your rock out. And I put behind it a pentagram. My husband didn't like it, but I put them up all over this place. Like that one, crazy train equals the biblical version.
So, not to be rude or anything, but how did such a nice young lady with yourself end up falling for older gentleman like,
Because he was a tripod.
Well, yeah, okay.
He did push-ups that way.
I'm not gonna go see what our friends are up to, yeah? Just see if they found anything.
Are both of you now just dodging this lady?
Oh no, I left when she started giving weird compliments to people. Like, I'm not dealing.
She complimented your beard. As a dwarf, that's like tantamount to saying you're the Idris Elba of people.
Look, I don't have a lot of charisma, and I don't know how to deal with that. So
That's my lowest score.
So are you trying to argue that you're the Tom Hiddleston of dwarves and you don't acknowledge you're actually gorgeous?
I guess. Is that something with Tom Hiddleston?
Not Hiddleston. What? Tom Holland. Spider-Man.
Spiteful. I don't know. Like, I didn't even know that was a thing with him.
I don't know, but can we all agree we need to defend Tom Hiddleston, or not Tom Hiddleston, but Tom Holland from the Corona?
I'll defend Tom Hiddleston from the Corona.
Yes, ma'am, you will.
Corona in the face. Anyway, we were outside and like.
I'm gonna head back inside to share with the other two party members what we found out here.
As the other two are trying to exit, and as y'all are entering in from the Shard Garden, which if any of our viewers are arguing, Shard's not great but not terrible. If you want food, it's there.
I'm gonna say, so you had what? It was like 4 men who came to take your husband.
She goes, I don't know. The gardener would have told everybody. She says he said stuff to me. They said stuff to me, and I'll be honest.
I'm going to need you to stop and explain to me everything that happened.
She said she didn't say anything, you know? She said this Richard guy might have, though.
She just turns and looks straight at Langston. Boy. I'm sorry. I use that one in my class all the time. Kids start acting up, and I just look at them, staple my fingers, and go, boy.
Okay, who's saying that? What?
She says that straight at Langston. Lady.
Open that book of work, ma'am. Tell us where Richard is.
He was kidnapped. I don't know by who.
Okay, so your gardener was kidnapped?
No. The gardener was not kidnapped. He saw it happen, but it wasn't his job. He's sitting there trying to fix tomatoes for the hothouse, so we still have tomatoes in winter.
Oh, no, that's okay. So we need to talk to Richard. He actually saw the abduction.
Yes, that's the situation.
Let's go find Dick then.
Let's go find this dick and get it over with.
Fuck both of you. Thank you, Ruby.
Where can we find Richard?
Richard's in the hothouse. He's if you follow that hallway over there and take a right, a left, and a left, you'll find him.
Okay, we're gonna go talk to Richard then.
All right, let's go find Richard.
What's the first direction you take to go find Dick?
Down the hallway.
Okay, you go down the hallway. Then there's a X junction, or I should say it's an X junction. It's a 4x4 junction. Which way do you go?
Is it right? Can't remember if it was 2 or 3 rights.
What do you all remember, party?
I didn't know I'd have to remember it.
Yeah, I would have paid closer attention had I realized I had to.
Roll an intelligence check, both of you, for me. Okay. Olabella, you know you need to take a right, a left.
I'm going to actually try to dig into the earth.
All right.
Well, hold on. Langston, what are you doing?
I was just kidding.
I was going to ask, are you legit tearing up the solid oak wood floors of this house?
No, he's not.
You're not Langston. Langston, what you do?
If he tries, I'm going to lift him off of his feet, so he does.
What's your strength score there?
I don't really do that.
Okay. So, following Olabella's directions, you find your way to the hothouse. And when you walk in, this is a massive greenhouse. It's probably 100 by 200 long. There are massive iron girders and I-beams that hold the roof. When you walk in this room, you noticeably get warm, like almost uncomfortably warm, like you're sweating a little bit. Like you can stay here for a minute. But if you stayed here for a long time, you need to strip out of your armor and just be walking around in your common clothes. Basically, what you walk into is think about the geosphere from Biodome.
Do we see Richard when we go in?
You do not. And for any listeners that are here and watchers that are here, Biodome is a movie from the 90s with Pauly Shore.
No one needs to know about Biodome because it was...
Nobody needs to know about Pauly Shore.
They can do.
They can Google it. That's why I put it out there. And don't y'all hate on one of my favorite movies because I would love to actually live in a biodome.
I love you very much. That movie's stupid.
That movie's very bad, actually.
It's absolutely terrible. The movie is stupid. But it actually gives Tenacious D one of his first screen roles.
Does it?
I'm gonna search for
All I want to do is save some motherfucking trees.
Can we look for Richard?
Richard!
All of a sudden, as you hear, what?
Richard. How you doing?
As y'all get in there, you see a half ogre that has some weird hornage on his head, like elk horns. He looks, oh, hi, guys. How are you doing? I was just over here cultivating some potatoes. How are you doing? My name's Richard, but most people call me Ard.
All right, Dick. Listen.
I'm not gonna answer him because he called me by my father's name.
Art, we just had a couple of questions for you there.
Okay, cool. Is it about cultivation of sweet potatoes? Because for the last 85 years, that's all I've done is sweet potatoes.
Well,
I got them.
No, not today. No, I have to ask you about that later. But we wanted to know about what happened to the alderman. His wife said that you saw what happened when he got taken.
Oh, yeah, I was over there. And he points over near this large glass dome. I was like totally planting the okra and the bay leaves because, look, if you're going to make gumbo, you at least should have the thickeners in the same spot, right? But, like, I was over there trying to pull up all these fucking dandelions, which I put them in a bucket because I replant them. Because dandelions are actually pretty good for bees, yo. But all of a sudden I see that little man grabbed by a big man. Not like me, big man. But like an oversized human man. Like humans don't deserve to be that big and hot normally. Like, man. Like it was like all of a sudden a 7-foot tall man grabbed a 2-foot tall man, and like that's weird and all. But I was like, I got okra to attend to, and that okra's gonna be tasty.
So he was about as tall as me, huh? But he looked like he was...
No, like honey, like shoulder height. That's how big that man was.
Well, I'm 7'1", so that's about the 7 foot tall you'd be looking at.
Yeah, maybe like a big ass dude height. I don't know. Like, hey, guys. I learned how to make jerky into a lanyard.
Okay, that's great, Art. But so it would just look like a human, huh?
Like no distinguishing marks.
No weird skin or hair colors or something shooting off of him. Just a big tall guy.
He was just like super old, like really old, like super strong. So I'm like, I don't know who's super old and super strong. Like I know this one half orc named Shazam. He's really old and super strong, but it wasn't him.
Is there something I can roll to figure out what the hell he might be talking about?
Roll a history check.
History, of course. I'm proficient in nature,
Nope. As far as you know, he's describing some type of supernatural hero or some such.
You guys ever heard of something like this?
I don't really care.
The dwarf is just standing there, slightly like mid thigh, looking at you like, Kneel back. I'll actually give. do you want to give up your inspiration to have advantage?
Yes, I will.
Okay, Nailback, when you hear all this shit going down, and Langston, when you hear all this shit going down, like, this is some bullshit. This is some fairy tale bullshit. Langston, you're like, this old senile ass druid doesn't know what's going on out here. Nailback, you're like, this dude been fooled by some shit. I know how to fool people. My rabbit has fooled people for me. I've once gotten a drink off of 8 people and charged 1 person. Like,
Do you think it's the Fae?
legit, dude, you think that this is something extra planar. Like, you're sitting there with a natural 20 going, you went like, what's going on? And all of a sudden you saw Neil deGrasse Tyson sitting on a floating beanbag chair going, son, this is full of bullshit.
So I think that this guy was kidnapped by something extra planar.
No, you think he was kidnapped by something that's planar, but it's being manipulated.
That description was completely different from what you just said.
I apologize. What you understand with a natural 20, Neilvac, is that the Alderman has been kidnapped by mundane forces that do not know they are being manipulated by something way above their pay grade. You understand that whatever is manipulating this pay grade is outside of the normal understanding of mortals, and if you want to press further in, you gotta take a level in Warlock.
I don't think Novak has the charisma for that.
Legit, H.P. Lovecraft showed up, told you some rather bad bullshit, and then some like extra planar other bullshit that is useful, and you now are sitting there contemplating life for the next 15 minutes. Like, that is not exactly how a D6 is supposed to work level of bullshit.
So, did he tell us this thing that he discovered?
Well, I'm not sure why his old mind was so strong, but could be something extra planar that could be affecting him.
So, someone being manipulated.
Probably. I mean, guess, I suppose. Like, why take the Alderman? Why leave money? That's an odd thing. Why, if you're going to kidnap someone, just kidnap someone. Why leave the money?
Yeah, that is a bit weird.
They said it was some sort of cultural thing.
All of y'all roll an intelligence check for me. Intelligence.
I got a whole big 10.
Got 18. Novak got a 21.
Because it's fucking Novak. Okay, so Redbeard and Langston, y'all fail. Excuse me for the burp. Obella and Novak, y'all pass. Tailgating here. I'm sorry, Chris. Any case, the two of you.
Fail game.
Oh, fail game. I'm sorry. It looked like a T to me. I apologize. In case, Obella and Nailvac, what y'all understand is there's probably a horde of Ice Walker or far northern barbarians that have done this, and they don't know why.
What are they?
Ice Walker barbarians.
You call them. You would normally call them Ice Walker barbarians. These are the people who live in the far north on the ice sheet, or if there is a northern continent that you don't know of, they're there. But it's
They're the wildlings beyond the wall.
yes. There's a fuckload of wildlings that live up on the glacial sheet that once it connects to Ibavis, start pouring south because you have food and shit.
It's starting to sound like the folks that live way up north, eh? Those, the Ice Walkers.
Could they kidnap the Alderman to stop the icebreaker, thereby breaking the bridge that they're
Cause I don't know. He works for the ice breaking. What is it called? The icebreaker company. So maybe it doesn't impede them coming in. I'm not really sure.
Well, let's see if we can hunt them down. Would we know where the markers are? Like, general direction, maybe?
North.
Alright.
If I looked at the tracks, would I be able to?
You didn't look at the tracks. The other two did.
I know, but if I did.
I'll show them where the tracks are.
Between you, Forick, and Langston looking at them, the tracks are following along the northern end of the gap between Mir and the island of Gin, where the city of Gin is, and they look like they're going to go legit straight north. So it looks like for you to grab the Alderman, who also controls the icebreaker industry in the city, you might need to head in that direction.
Alright, fellas and ma'am. Let's get some horses, let's gear up for the winter, and let's go,
Oh yeah, we need to go to Millie's.
Okay. I'm going to say at this point, I'm sorry. I'll apologize. Finish what you're saying.
Oh, I was mentioning that we have a 50% off coupon.
You do. And at this point, I will state that y'all have a slight timeout to think about what you want to do. So in about maybe 10, 15, let's be back. Is that cool with everybody?
That's
long.
alright.
All right. Well, we will take a slight break. All of y'all who are watching, thank you very much, and give us just a sec. We are unmuted. We're back from our break. Got some agua. Got some other liquids in our system. So let's transition. So the world map will be up just for now. So you were talking to the wife of the afflicted. You then went into the hot house and talked to Richard, who mentioned people grabbed him and went north.
All right, let's gear up and.
Okay, so I have an explorer's kit already. Do I need to buy like cold weather gear?
You have an explorer's kit, which is very general. You have some cold weather stuff, but you realize you're about to walk out onto an ice sheet. You're not like dealing with ground that's cold and woods that are cold and the wind that rushes within them. The ground underneath your feet will literally be frozen sea ice.
Well, okay. I guess I'll actually get some like winter boots, a good set of winter boots, and maybe like an extra jacket.
So are y'all gonna go to Millie's? Sorry to interrupt you, Zeta. Sorry to interrupt you there, Mr. Fork.
Okay.
But it seems like the party wants to go to the settlers in town. Anyone watching the stream, I apologize. My coaster keeps attaching to my mug. So as you walk into Millie's, near the center of town, it's a very large 2-story settler store. You see everything you need for cold weather survival, plus a whole lot of stuff you do not need. Basically, if any of you understand this, you've just walked into a small Bass Pro Shop.
Cool. I'm gonna look for things like rope, extra fur, rations, everything else I might think would be.
Okay, for about 10, when you slap the paper down on the table, Millie, who is a elderly half elf, nods at you and will actually sell you an explorer's pack for about 3 silver, beyond what is the discount. Are you going to take that, Langston?
Yeah, I'll definitely take that.
All right. Everybody else, what y'all doing?
I just need some basic cold weather gear. I think my adventurer's pack will carry me through.
For another 3 silver, you will get extreme cold weather gear, which is the same as the explorer's pack, but you now have a jacket and a set of pants that will prevent you from taking damage from the extreme cold.
Do you have one that is small?
He looks, or all of a sudden she leans over the counter and looks at you and argues that for 2 silver she will get you and your bunny a set.
Yeah. Sure. Here you go. Pass over 2 silver.
She hands you all the gear, and you have a difficult time putting a parka on a bunny.
Well, I mean, if it's a familiar, like, he basically has.
Nah, I think it's funnier for him to try to put a little parka on a bunny.
I mean, fair.
What else is everybody buying?
Does she have pack animals?
She looks at you, I can get you a mule.
What do you guys think?
Do we need one? I mean, we're not going to find treasure.
Alright.
Any snowshoes?
It's in your gear, honey. And all of a sudden, she just like hands over some tiny tennis racket looking stuff for a bunny. Anybody that's sorry, go ahead and say what you're gonna say.
Oh, no, I'm just picturing me tying tiny tennis rackets to Dr. Hopkins.
Dr. Hopkins is not amused, but he does not object.
Honestly, he should be fine. He's only about like a pound.
These are legit, like tiny, like you went to Hobby Lobby size, like doll shoe size snow equipment.
None gnome sized. Like, is there a children's section? I'll take a children's section.
Everybody that is buying something from her will get appropriately sized snow gear.
Awesome.
You say that, and then Forik is like, shit, this is fit.
Fork, you're given like human size. They fit your boots, but not.
Well, I mean, Forik is wide-shouldered, so...
You totally get a tailored dwarven cold weather cloak and jacket.
Oh, nice.
It fits. It's a little snug in the shoulders, like this might have meant for a human that's probably a foot taller than you, but there's pockets all on the inside. In fact, you actually find one of those weird, like strawberry flavored candies that's in a Pepperidge Farm box in one of the random pockets, but you will never have another one of those.
I tend to like simple things, but I'm kind of secretly liking this jacket. I try not to show everyone else I have it.
There's actually a pocket knife in one of the pockets. Like, it has multiple functions to it. Like, you literally just found a multi-tool in one of these pockets.
Interesting.
Langston, you find one of these other little kind of like multi-tools in your pockets. Nelvac, you got like a slightly smaller version of. Polabella, were you buying anything here?
Does anybody have Dungeoneers packs, or do we just have Explorers and Herbalism?
I just have a Explorer pack. That's all you need.
I'll buy a Dungeoneers pack if I can.
Okay, so for about 25 gold, you get another Explorer's pack.
Never mind. I didn't know they were that expensive. Forget that.
Aren't they normally 25 gold? So have that to about 12.
Gold.
You got Druid money.
Yeah,
I'm a Druid hermit. I have 5 gold. Never mind. I'll keep my Explorer's pack and my Herbalism kit.
Well, Acolytes have more than hermits, apparently.
She offers you a jacket for about 5 gold.
That's all my money.
It's kind of a long jacket, like it goes down to about your knees.
Okay.
I
Couldn't I argue? I live here. Wouldn't I have a coat that's appropriate?
You do, but you don't. You live on land that's cold. You don't walk out into an ice sheet that's cold.
Yeah, okay.
I give her 5 gold to help people.
No, it's okay. I got it. It's not like we're gonna be buying a whole lot on the road, eh?
At the very least, take 3 gold, just so you're not completely out.
I appreciate it, sir.
So everybody now is outfitted with at least jackets. Moving through the terrain will be at 3/4 speed because most folks have snowshoes, but the Druid Furbog does not.
Wait, but I have a thing. I have natural.
Oh wait, you have a level of Druid, so yes, you have natural terrain.
I have 2 levels of Druid and a level of Ranger.
Sorry, that's what I meant. So you got a level of Ranger and you got favorite terrain, so you're saying like, everybody needs snowshoes. I don't. I can handstand this shit.
Difficult terrain also does not slow my group's travel.
Everybody else is like, wait, I found a path. And you're like, let me just walk behind the furball. So you must make your way north onto the ice sheet, the Jotun Chief, to find a kidnapped alderman. Everybody roll me a survival check.
Would it be Arctic? Would be my favorite terrain then?
Yes.
Ooh, fail game. Coming back again.
Nilfac for the win, while the other 2 of you are not. What is our last player's roll?
It's because I'm so short and low to the ground.
You're literally riding on your rabbit with a saddle, aren't you?
You seem to think that, and I'll roll with it if the GM wants it.
The rabbit is now a large hare that you're sitting there like, the rabbit hops and you're like, keep going! No, you're just sitting there walking or hooking on to Olabella's belt. Like, the 2 of you are good, but as y'all continue through the frozen waste, you hear, ooh, bark.
Nature check to see what that was.
You totes can. If anyone wants to give me a nature check, give me a nature check.
Novak has just the greatest roll.
He really is magnificent.
Quick question: How do I remove people's avatar pictures from the screen so I can see the map?
You just go to the gear, and then there should be player avatar size, and you can just switch it to name. It's like it should be like one, or you have to go all the way down, but it's very on the very.
I found it.
Okay,
Thank you.
no problem.
Okay, as you're making it forth, Langston, Foric, y'all don't notice anything as you're walking along. However, Olabella and Nirvac, as you end up making it towards the southern end of the Gin Island, you hear heavy howling.
Does it sound like a wolf?
See.
You want us to try and talk to them?
Can you do this sort of?
Well, I have to speak with animals and I can turn into a wolf. Which one should I do?
I mean, we can try the non-violent approach first. And as I say that, can I move in front of Milvac to kind of like shield him from like the horde that is surrounding him on one side?
If you would like to do that, that would be fine. You see, as you all become...
Yeah, I can't move.
What, you can't move your character?
I can
Yeah, I don't have
my
access to it.
character. Like, I can drag my character out. Now I have that.
I can't move mine.
If you go and, like, they might just be on the wrong layer, which I've done before so many times.
I totally did that. I totally did
Yeah.
that.
So, like, you can just switch them to, oh god, it's an earthquake.
Yeah, I apologize, crew.
Like, you can just, like, right-click on the tokens to it and just switch, or, you know, disappear them, but you can just, like, switch them to the right layer. Because I can tell these guys are on the wrong layer because they're under the grid. When they're under the grid, they usually things are up. I'm so sorry. Like, I know way too much about Roll20 because I have like 2,000 hours on the book.
Well, I did not realize I was still on the wrong layer of Roll20.
It's very.
And I have nearly as many hours as you.
Yeah, I'm a big nerd. I can admit.
So, should I turn into a wolf or just speak with them?
I cast a mage armor.
So nothing has happened yet. We don't have combat. Is anybody not on the map?
I am on the map. I am going to take a defensive stance. I have my hand on my hand axe. I don't have it drawn, but I have it on, and I'm just keeping an eye on them.
Yeah, I'm gonna put my hands on my weapon.
And if any of them come towards us, I'm gonna attack.
So you see a very large pack of ice wolves or winter wolves, depending on where on the island you're from. But this is a large pack that's moving in. You know that they're hungry. You can see the saliva off their teeth. And they're just at the edge of what you can see. So what's everybody doing?
I'm throwing the rabbit. Not rabbit.
Endanger Dr. Hopkins.
Oh my god. Nate, I just love the first response. Throw the rabbit! And he just like grabbed the gnome's rabbit.
It's what my alignment would do.
That rabbit will mess you up, bro.
I'm going to wait for Olabella to do her thing and see if she can de-escalate the situation. Otherwise, I'm getting ready for a fight. I know Nilvac is probably the weakest, so I'm going to try and protect him.
So Nilvac's casting mage armor. You're holding an action. And Langston, are you holding an action?
Absolutely.
Okay. So as y'all hold actions, Olabella moves forward. What do you do?
I'm going to cast Speak with Animals.
Okay. You cast it, and all of a sudden you hear, I'm hungry. That one looks tasty. I want to nibble on that one's leg bones. I like bread.
Hey there, I'm going to put up my hands and be like, hey there.
As you hold up your hand, you just hear all the wolves, I like bread.
We're just passing through, yeah? Don't want no trouble. We could just scoot on past you, without an oath, that'd be good.
Oh no, this might require an oath. This might require an oath. There's a lot of you. The little one looks like it might taste like buffalo sauce.
No, those type, they're stringy, Not good eating,
But look at that thick dwarf. That thick dwarf has ham hocks.
No, it's all fur. You get it stuck in your teeth, it's not going to taste good, I promise you.
That's called floss. That's called floss. I'm looking at them
No, it
calves.
gets stuck on the way down. It'll get in your teeth, and then nothing will taste right for days. I promise you.
Look, that dwarf with you. That dwarf with you. That's a golden corral. It's undercooked, but it's tasty. I'm pretty sure I can gnaw those arms.
Oh, no, see, my friends here, they don't like the idea of being chewed on so much, so, you know, maybe we could give you some food we do have, and we could avoid anybody getting, you know, hurt in this instance here, you know?
Make a persuasion check.
I'm gonna give myself guidance.
Can you give yourself guidance?
You can give yourself guidance.
I do it all the time in another game, and my speak with animals is not concentration, I don't believe.
What class skills are you casting this from?
I have guidance as a druid. It's a cantrip.
Oh shit! I thought that was just a cleric spell.
No, that is a druid spell.
Yeah, druid and clerics are very close. Like their spell, they're like your spell list.
All right, roll your roll with guidance.
That's gonna be 1 plus. So 2 plus 1.
No, but you got rations, you got food. I'll take food. If you don't give me, if you give me food, I won't eat the dwarf and I won't eat the gnome. The gnome looks tasty. The gnome looks like it. The gnome's a chicken nugget. I want a chicken nugget.
I look back. Hey guys, take some jerky out of some of your rations and let's give it to them. Can avoid it.
I stand up straight, looking at the dwarves, but I'm still scowling.
At the wolves, you mean?
At the wolves, and I just reach into my pocket, not taking my eye off the wolves, and I pull out some jerky, some rations, which are some jerky, and it's about like 2-3 days worth of rations, and I toss it to them.
Note it off your sheet as you throw that. But as you throw it, you just hear Randy the Wolfman Savage yell, "Step into a Slim Jim and grab the jerky."
I'm gonna take a couple of days worth of jerky and I'm gonna toss it to them in a different direction.
You throw it and all of a sudden you hear, "Oh yeah!"
Has that placated them enough?
They seem to be eating whatever you threw at them. There's still like another 6 there's still another 4 wolves that need to be placated. What are y'all doing?
She looks back at Novak and Langston. Oh, okay, guys.
I do the same. I mean, I throw them some.
Remember, if this goes south, we can always use them. I can make jerky.
I can always forage, but, you know, we just gotta kind of maybe not want to fight the wolf pack right off.
So Langston, you throw it out. You see the rest of the wolves start going after it. Novak, you're just sitting there holding your rabbit going, "These wolves are crazy, and that bitch is talking dogs."
All I'm doing is bark, wolf dogs are barking.
Well, the wolves, this jerky's good. I like this jerky. I could step into it. I almost step into this jerky, another wolf. That's stupid. And then just like pushes out of the way, eats the rest of the jerky and starts eating snow. What do y'all do?
We're gonna keep going past the wolves because they are eating food and not gonna eat our dwarf or our gnome.
Yeah, they're not going to eat the dwarf with them.
Y'all make your way north of all this nonsense. They're sitting there eating their food, and as you're leaving, everybody give me a perception check. Damn, Langston, you see all of existence that ever was.
Dang, I'm proficient in my perception, man.
Oh, Labella, you're just like,
let's. I'm not proficient in.
Oh, Labella, you're
When that happens, like, you what happens with me and Angus. It's like I'm like super strong, but I always roll shit for strength.
All right, so Olabella's the only one that doesn't know this. As she's trying to shuffle y'all along, Langston, you sense the absolute malice of the wolf that's sitting there like, I'm going to eat this dried fruit and jerky. I'm going to come after you. I'm going to eat you too because you gave me a snack. I want a meal.
Alright, well, we just kind of got them hungry, so I'm going to go ahead and say, fuck it, take my... Do I need to quit cussing? I'm sorry. I just realized you're on the
Fuck that.
Unless you say something that I go, hey, Nate, stop.
picture. Well, I'm going to pull out my longbow and shoot it at the one that's following it.
So, oh shit. Roll an attack roll for me there. Roll damage. 25 definitely hits. If you click longbow on your roll, okay.
Okay, Nate, you had like you can just click the longbow right here.
Yep.
Like, yeah, where you see longbow. Yeah, there you go. Okay, yeah, you see.
I roll that. Y'all just watch a wolf drop as Langston turns around as y'all are leaving, fire a longbow into a wolf sitting there eating jerky, and then the rest of the wolves just like jump onto it, eating it.
Why did you shoot it?
I just had a feeling it wanted to eat us too.
Well, yeah, we knew it wanted to eat us, but they were kind of placated, you know?
Well, you know, when you feed a wolf a snack, generally they like to get a full meal.
It's like when you give a mouse a cookie. In case you keep making your way north, everybody give me a survivor roll after you have now dealt with the random wolf pack that has gone cannibal.
Give my